Liam sits alone in the dim light of his cell, a tattered notebook resting on his lap. Once he was a young man spirited away by a crime of passion, but now he finds himself grappling with the weight of his choices. As he opens the pages filled with his poetry, a world he has created beyond these walls unfurls. Words flow like a river, carrying his pain and longing for self-identity. Each verse reflects the beauty and despair he sees around him, a paradox of creativity that blooms in confinement. In these forgotten bars, I find the echoes of my soul, he writes, capturing the essence of his struggle. The haunting sounds of the prison life mingle with the whispers of his thoughts, reminding him that even here, inspiration can find a way to thrive. As he pens his final lines, we transition to the next story, where the shadows of loss and resilience gather among the women fighting for hope. As the moon filters through the high barred windows, Mara's voice unfolds, laden with the weight of her past. Once a fierce gang member, she reflects on a life marked by loyalty and betrayal, an existence fueled by the harsh realities of survival. In her diary, she sketches the contours of her journey to prison, detailing the moments when desperation overshadowed reason. But within these stark walls, she discovers an unexpected sisterhood among fellow inmates, each having weathered storms of their own. Late-night conversations thread their stories together, where vulnerability replaces bravado. Mara pens the secrets whispered in the dark, a shared grief over lost dreams and the flickering hope of redemption. With every entry, the connection deepens, a patchwork of resilience forged through struggle. In a place designed to isolate, Mara finds refuge in the bonds of women who, despite their shadows, seek a sliver of light. The echoes of laughter intertwine with sorrow, scripting a new narrative of survival and strength. Through Harold's eyes, we venture into a world crafted by charm and deceit, where words were his strongest weapon. Once a con man who effortlessly manipulated those around him, Harold finds himself navigating the stark reality of prison life, stripped of the masks he once wore. His diary entries oscillate between humor and tragedy, as he reflects on the profound lessons he learns amidst the echoes of locked doors. His sharp wit surfaces in moments shared with fellow inmates, often eliciting laughter that pierces the heavy air, drawing them closer even in their confinement. Yet beneath the surface, Harold confronts painful truths, awakening to the connections he'd overlooked in his relentless pursuit of self-interest. Slowly, he begins to understand the importance of honesty, discovering camaraderie within those he had once viewed merely as tools. In these walls, Harold starts to redefine his identity, seeking genuine relationships over the fleeting glories of manipulation, forging an authentic path toward redemption. In the dim light of the prison infirmary, Sophia would often find solace amid her wrongful conviction. A dedicated nurse before her incarceration, she transformed her need for purpose into a beacon of hope for her fellow inmates. Her diary entries reflect her relentless spirit as she initiated a wellness program, fostering a space of healing both physically and emotionally. She recounts stories of the women she treats, their pain evident in their eyes, yet accompanied by a flicker of hope ignited by her compassion. Through laughter and tears, Sophia learns that healing transcends mere physical ailments. It encompasses the heart and soul. As she nurtures wounds that run deeper than the skin, her own scars begin to fade, revealing the strength that love can cultivate even behind bars. With every pulse of her patients' lives, she restores fragments of their humanity, reminding everyone, herself included, that resilience can flourish in even the darkest corners of confinement. Jacob's days are marked by an unyielding reflection on the choices that led him here, a life sentence weighing heavily on his heart. Through his diary, he unveils the agony of regret, sharing stories that resonate with a sense of lost time. Each page is imbued with painful memories and lessons learned, as he navigates a life once filled with reckless decisions. Yet amid this shadow, Jacob finds purpose. He has become a mentor, guiding younger inmates struggling with their own demons. His words, rooted in genuine empathy, emphasize the possibility of redemption even in the most unforgiving circumstances. As he gathers these men around him for shared stories and wisdom, Jacob fosters a fragile hope in their hearts, reminding them that, although their bodies are confined, their spirits can soar through introspection and growth. In this sacred space of vulnerability, The echoes of remorse transform into the promises of change, illuminating the path forward. Nina, a gifted painter, found herself imprisoned for a crime she committed under duress, a reflection of the desperation that often clouds one's judgment. In her diary, she spills her heart onto the pages, detailing how the drab, stark walls of her cell transform into vibrant canvases in her mind. Painting becomes her refuge, a way to channel her pain, dreams, and the stories swirling around her. With each brushstroke, she captures not just the solitude of imprisonment, but the beauty of resilience and the human spirit. Nina often spends hours crafting intricate images, turning the mundane into the extraordinary, while her fellow inmates gather to watch, inspired by her artistic vision. Through her art, she creates a dialogue about freedom and suffering, reminding everyone that creativity can flourish even in the most oppressive environments. In this realm, she teaches them that beauty, like hope, can emerge from the depths of despair, further binding the sisterhood among them. As we delve into the world of Marcus, the avid reader and historian, his keen observations of the past come to life through his vivid diary entries. Amid the prison's stark concrete walls, he immerses himself in the stories of former inmates, some forgotten, others notorious, using their histories to shape a deeper understanding of his own life. Each tale he recounts carries the weight of lessons that echo through time, intertwining themes of identity and legacy. As he reflects on the lives of those who walked the same halls before him, Marcus captures the essence of their struggles and triumphs, highlighting the universal search for meaning. His narrative, rich with the teachings of history, serves not just as a reminder of the mistakes that led them to confinement, but as a beacon of hope for transformation. Through his eyes, we come to see that even within the walls, stories remain alive, urging all to remember and learn from the past. As we delve into the heart of Aisha's world, we meet a young woman caught in the throes of conflicting aspirations. In her diary, she dreams of standing before a classroom, igniting curiosity and passion in young minds. Yet here she is, confined within cold stone walls, the weight of her choices heavy upon her shoulders. Each entry reflects a flickering hope, the desire to transcend her circumstances and become a beacon of inspiration. Aisha's prose resonates with the yearning for freedom, both physical and intellectual. She writes of the books that transport her beyond prison confines, where she visualizes her future students laughing and learning. Yet as each day passes, doubt creeps in, casting shadows over her ambitions. The juxtaposition of her dreams and reality is palpable. She tirelessly grapples with the question of whether her past can allow room for a hopeful future. A candle flickers dimly in the dark. As Aisha strives to become more than just a prisoner, she wishes to become a teacher of resilience and hope. Samuel's world shattered the moment betrayal found its way into the heart of his closest friendship. In the desolate corridors of the prison, loyalty is a fragile thread, easily severed. His diary entries unravel the story of trust he once held dear, now tainted by deception. He recounts the camaraderie he shared with another inmate, a bond forged in the crucible of confinement, only to discover that this trust was misplaced. As he reflects on the sting of betrayal, Samuel navigates the emotional turmoil that follows. It's not merely a quest for vengeance. Instead, it becomes a journey toward understanding and forgiveness. He grapples with the pain of his disillusionment, confronting the reality that even within these cold walls, the quest for redemption remains. Through his vulnerability, Samuel learns that friendship, although tested, has the power to heal, teaching him that sometimes the darkness can lead to the light of renewal. Olivia sits quietly in the corner of the dimly lit common room, her diary open on her lap, pen poised but unmoving. Each stroke of her pen feels heavy as she grapples with the weight of guilt that clings to her like a second skin. Memories flood her mind, images of laughter shared with friends and the moment everything unraveled. She reflects on the choices that led her here, the once bright future, now obscured by shadows of regret. Her entries capture her internal struggle, oscillating between self-condemnation and a desperate yearning for forgiveness. In her heart, she holds a flicker of hope that redemption might be possible. As she writes, the distant sounds of the prison echo around her, a solemn reminder of her confinement. Yet amid the despair, she learns that accepting her past is the first step toward reclaiming her identity and finding peace. Each word penned is a step toward healing. Even behind these unforgiving bars, Eli sits on his cot, the weight of his past pressing heavily on his chest. He reflects on the violence that once defined him, casting shadows over his heart. Each diary entry becomes a cathartic release, allowing him to confront the man he used to be. He shares moments of kindness, small acts that brighten the bleakness of prison life. Feeding stray cats that wander through the yards, offering a comforting smile to fellow inmates in despair, he begins to see transformation. Eli finds solace in the realization that redemption is not just a distant goal, but a daily journey paved with meaningful choices. He embraces the challenge of forging connections, understanding that vulnerability can forge stronger bonds than aggression ever did. As his reflections deepen, the stark reality of prison life juxtaposes with his yearning to create a legacy marked by compassion rather than regret, a beacon of hope amid the chaos surrounding him. Isabella's world feels like a corridor filled with shadows, each step she takes echoing uncertainty. Her diary is a fragile sanctuary where she grapples with the weight of her past and the looming unknowns of her future. With each entry, she confronts the fears that seep into her thoughts. Will she ever be free? Will redemption be a concept available to her? Despite the oppressive walls surrounding her, Isabella's spirit remains unyielded. She finds strength in small moments of beauty, the light filtering through the barred windows, the laughter shared with a fellow inmate over a card game, and glimpses of her dreams, which she meticulously sketches on scrap paper. Each stroke of her pencil offers a flicker of hope, a promise that even in confinement, she can chart a course toward possibility. As Isabella writes, she learns that resilience is forged in the heart's quiet corners, echoing the interconnected struggles of those around her. As the sun dipped below the towering mountains, casting elongated shadows on the prison walls, Leo opened his diary, his fingers trembling slightly as he wrote. Each pen stroke echoed the torment of his past, a life filled with choices that had rippled out, affecting not just him but those he loved. He reflected on the day his decisions led to a tragedy, how the remorse hung around his neck like an anchor. In the quiet of the evening, his thoughts turned to his family, the longing for reconciliation overpowering. Each entry was a whispered confession, a silent plea for forgiveness from a world he felt he'd irrevocably damaged. Yet within the depths of despair, he found an unexpected strength. As he shared his story with other inmates, he realized the power of vulnerability. The conversations that followed, drenched in empathy and understanding, began to unravel the knots of his guilt, allowing space for healing and hope to enter.